Hello everybody, welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel for Tuesday, April 8th. And Pierre Poilievre held his largest rally so far this past evening in Edmonton, and Stephen Harper introduced him and endorsed Poilievre. And I'm not surprised, considering that Mr. Poilievre worked under Stephen Harper as Housing Minister and Finance Minister for several years. So it would make sense that Stephen Harper endorses him. But I just wanted to play the introductory speech here for you guys so that you can see for yourselves just how much this is taking off here in Canada. And I really want you guys to see this. This is Stephen Harper's introductory speech for Pierre Poilievre last night in Edmonton. And I also want you to listen and take a look at the people in the audience.
Thanks to Chief Moran, the next Member of Parliament for Edmonton Northwest.
He still sounds really good.
Wow, what a fantastic crowd. Thank you, Edmonton.
It sounds like there's a full-blown, this is at an industrial warehouse. It sounds like there's like a whole stadium's worth of people there.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for making yourself a positive part of the most important decision that this country is going to make in decades. Canada right now needs change more desperately than it perhaps ever has.
And this is true. This is not a exaggeration. And I was not a fan of Harper's. I will admit that. When I was younger, I was very naive. I was very idealistic. I was very much more left-leaning. And I was not a fan of Harper's at all, especially near the end.
And it needs someone to lead that change, my friends. As someone who had the honor of serving as your Prime Minister, I know...
Oh, wow.
I know that being Prime Minister is a trust. It is a trust to take this incredible country that our ancestors bequeathed us and to leave it stronger, more united, more compassionate, and more confident than we found it.
That is probably the best way of putting what it means to be Prime Minister I've ever heard. I don't think I can say anything more besides that. That was probably the best description of what it means to be a leader of Canada. And the way that he said it, that our founding fathers bequeathed us. It's true. That they made this country in hopes that it be a united, culturally diverse, wonderful place to live for everybody that needed to live here. I swear I didn't.
That's what we did, my friends. But that is not the story of the past decade, and that has got to change for Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chers amis, je me trouve dans une position unique pendant cette campagne. Je suis la seule personne pour qui les deux candidats au poste de Premier ministre ont travaillé. Et mon choix sans équivoque est Pierre Poilievre.
Oh, he says it in French first.
You know, friends, I am in a unique position in this federal election.
He endorsed him in French first. Interesting.
I am the only person who can say that both of the men running to be Prime Minister once worked for me.
Oh, shit. That's the part I missed in French. That's funny. I'm sorry, Harper. That's funny. Good quip.
And in that regard, my choice, without hesitation, without equivocation, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pierre Poilievre.
Listen to that audience. Holy crap.
I have known Pierre Poilievre for a quarter of a century. Since he was a very young man, the first time I met him, I could see that he was smart, articulate, possessing tremendous passion for our country and strong convictions about sound public policy.
And there's nothing wrong with that. To say that about somebody is absolutely a glowing reference. And he is articulate, he is smart, and he does have a passion for Canada and public policy. And his public policies are not extreme in either respect. They're good, common sense, middle of the road policies.
In 2004, during the time of my leadership, Pierre's parliamentary career began. He went progressively from a backbench MP to a parliamentary secretary, to a junior cabinet minister, to a senior cabinet minister, and of course, to party leader.
Yep, and he worked his ass off. And for people to say, oh, he's a career politician, he doesn't care about us little people. He did it specifically because he was a little not in that way. He was a little person. He was a pleb. He came from modest means. He came from he knows what it's like to be the little people.
And in all of those roles, he worked, he fought, and he learned. Because it is not just that Pierre excelled in all of those roles. In all of them, he grew.
Yes.
He got better and better.
And that's what you want in a politician. Somebody that grows and gets better as they learn. Somebody that gets a portfolio and doesn't just show up because they have the portfolio. They show up because they want to learn about that portfolio and what it contains and about the people it covers.
Friends, don't let anyone tell you that he was born to be Prime Minister.
No.
Or that he can just somehow parachute into the job fully prepared.
You mean like Mark Carney thinks he can do?
Political experience, elected, accountable political experience, and the capacity for growth with that political experience, that is what Pierre has demonstrated for 2 decades, and that is the single most important characteristic a Prime Minister needs.
Absolutely. Mark Carney has no political experience. He has no experience of being an elected official. He has none of that.
And by the way, I say that as the guy who actually did lead Canada through the global financial crisis.
Oh, shit. Shots thrown at Mark Carney. Shots thrown at Mark Carney.
I hear there's someone else claiming it was him.
Wow. When 10,000 people boo, it makes a lot of noise.
It was, of course, our government. The late, great Jim Flaherty. and our Conservative team, who were responsible for the day-to-day macroeconomic management during that challenging time. And friends, it's no secret that our country faces today another historically challenging time in the form of the Trump administration. There is no sugarcoating that. But the bulk of the problems that afflict our country, falling living standards, declining employment and housing opportunities, rising crime, the growing divisions between our regions and our people, these were not created by Donald Trump.
Nope. They weren't. They were not created by Donald Trump, and it is absolutely dishonest and disingenuous for the Liberal government to sit here and be like, oh, it's Donald Trump's fault that Canada has gone to shambles. Oh. Oh, shock. Oh, horror. It's so bad. It's so bad that Donald Trump is in power. Look what he's done to Canada. No, it's the Liberals that have done this to Canada.
They were created by the policies of 3 Liberal terms, policies that the present Prime Minister supported and wants a 4th Liberal term to continue.
Listen to that.
Pierre has consistently opposed those policies.
He has opposed those policies. And for those of you who are like, oh, he wants to get rid of $10 a day childcare, that's a provincial matter. That's not a federal matter. Oh, he voted against dental care for kids and seniors. Again, provincial, not federal. Like, so many things that people claim Poilievre voted against. And it's like, well, yeah, of course he voted against them. They're not federal jurisdiction.
Policies that have put costs up, accelerated crime, left our wealth in the ground, and made our economy vulnerable and under America's thumb.
Yep.
And Pierre has, just as importantly, long advocated the positive alternatives for change. To axe those taxes, build homes, bring back jobs, get our resources to the whole world.
Yeah, he's come out with policies and plans that outline how he wants to do all of these things. And they all make sense. And they all make sense without bankrupting the average citizen.
And stand up to Washington from a position of strength. Friends, I believe that the challenge this country faces today from the United States, as real and serious as it is, should not be another excuse for Liberal failure.
No, it shouldn't.
Instead, it should be a historic opportunity. That's how we've got to see it. An opportunity to make Canada what it should be.
That is by far some of the strongest words that I've ever heard Harper use. I think this shows his articulation. It shows his confidence in Pierre Poilievre. It shows that he still is, able to show up and do speeches, and like he still sounds pretty good. He's got to be in his late 60s by now. Late 50s.
Internally united, internationally connected, a truly independent economy with the highest living standards in the world.
That's what we deserve. That's what we used to be.
And with those benefits, enjoyed not just by protected elites, but by all the people of this country in every region of this country.
Absolutely. That is what we've lost, that is what we deserve, and that is what Pierre Poilievre is endeavoring to bring us. How can you hear that and think that these people hate the country? How can you hear that and think anything but these are people that want to fix Canada?
And do bring it home, friends, because that goal does not depend on Donald Trump. It depends on us.
Yes. This is how you campaign, by the way. Liberals, take note, because you're not doing a very good job.
But we will only get there with leadership from a person who has an actual policy plan, from a person who has been right on all the big issues for a decade, and a person who has the energy and, yes, the youth.
Yeah. Because he is young. He is 43. He's a young guy, and that's what Canada needs.
Take us forward into a better, stronger, and more united future. That person has been my colleague, he is my friend, he is our leader, and he is the next Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Poilievre, and Anna.
And that, I think, was probably the best speech from Stephen Harper, and it's not even for his own political gain. It's for Pierre Poilievre, and that was just a very stirring speech. And to hear nearly 10,000 people chant "Bring it home, bring it home," it gets you right here. It gets you right here in the heart. It feels so authentic. It feels so right, and it's just I know Pierre Poilievre's going to win it, and we just have to be there to hold his party to account and make it so that what he's promised happens. Because we, the people of Canada, have that is our civic duty, to vote so that we can hold our politicians accountable. So, on April 28th, please do your part. Please go vote. I don't care who it's for. Just go vote. Do your civic duty, and let's make a change. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.